at least the people that I know have never lost the interest for it. I've always,
Known as the king of country music, his influence spans decades, with over 120 million records sold worldwide and an unprecedented 60 number-one hits. But George Strait's story is more than just chart-topping success. It's a tale of grit, resilience, and a deep connection to the music he loves. From his rise as a small-town Texas boy to becoming one of the best-selling artists of all time, George's journey is filled with triumphs, heartbreaks, and a legacy that continues to inspire. Today, we will reveal what George said about his son, and we will also take a closer look at the tragedy and beauty behind George Strait's life. George Strait's story begins in the small town of Poteet, Texas, where he was born on May 18, 1952. Growing up in Pearsall, a quiet southern Texas community, George was shaped by the rugged life of the ranch. After his parents separated during his early years, George and his brother Buddy were raised by their father, John Strait, a math teacher and rancher. Life on the family's sprawling 2,000-acre ranch taught young George the values of hard work, resilience, and a deep respect for the land. In high school, music began to play a significant role in George's life. Though country music wasn't yet his calling, he found his place in rock bands like the Stoics, influenced by the explosive popularity of the Beatles and other iconic groups of the era. These early experiences as a performer gave him a taste of the stage, but his musical journey was only just beginning. After finishing high school, George enrolled at Southwest Texas State University, but life soon took a turn when he joined the U.S. Army in 1971. Stationed in Hawaii, George's exposure to country music deepened, and artists like Hank Williams, George Jones, Merle Haggard, and Bob Wills captured his imagination. It was during this time that he began learning to play the guitar and experimenting with singing. While serving in Hawaii, George found not only his musical roots, but also a partner for life. In a private ceremony, he married his high school sweetheart, Norma. Their love story would become one of the enduring constants in George's life, a cornerstone of stability as his world grew more complicated with fame and fortune. In 1975, after completing his service in the Army, George returned to Southwest Texas State University to pursue a degree in agriculture. While balancing studies and ranch work, George reconnected with his passion for music. He joined a local country band called Stony Ridge after spotting a flyer on campus. Soon, he took the reins, renamed the group the Ace in the Hole Band, and began carving out his unique sound. The Ace in the Hole Band quickly gained a following, playing at local bars and clubs in Texas. Their performances became staples in South and Central Texas nightlife, with their sound blending honky-tonk traditions and Western swing. These formative years laid the foundation for George's career, as he refined his craft and prepared for the challenges ahead. Although life in Pearsall seemed humble, it was anything but simple. George's upbringing on the ranch instilled in him a quiet strength and determination that would serve him well as he pursued his dream. From working cattle under the Texas sun to strumming a guitar in packed dance halls, every experience contributed to the man and the artist he would become. George Strait's humble beginnings were the seed of something extraordinary. Little did anyone in Pearsall know, the boy riding horses and playing in local bands would one day redefine country music and become a global icon. But his path to the top wasn't without challenges that would only fuel his determination to succeed. For George Strait, the road to stardom was anything but smooth. Despite his undeniable talent and dedication, the music industry wasn't quick to embrace his traditional country style. In the late 1970s, George made multiple trips to Nashville armed with demos and determination, only to be met with rejection at every turn. Record executives, more focused on the polished pop-influenced country sound of the time, saw little potential in George's raw, honky-tonk style. Back in Texas, George balanced his love for music with the responsibilities of working on the family ranch. By day, he tended cattle and managed the land. But by night, he was the frontman for the Ace in the Hole band. The group was steadily building a reputation, playing bars and dance halls across South and Central Texas. Despite their growing local success, the lack of industry recognition began to weigh on George. At one point, the frustration nearly led him to walk away from music entirely. George even considered taking a job designing cattle pens, a practical move that would have ensured financial stability. He had made up his mind to step back, but it was Norma, his steadfast partner, who encouraged him to give music one more year. Her unwavering belief in his talent proved to be the push George needed to keep going. That pivotal year changed everything. In 1981, George's perseverance finally paid off when MCA Records gave him a chance. The deal was modest, a single release to test the waters, but it was the break he'd been waiting for. That single, Unwound, became a hit, climbing to number 6 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. The song's success validated George's traditional style and proved that there was still a place for authentic country music in the industry. Unwound marked the beginning of George Strait's rise to fame and set the tone for what would become his signature sound. Unlike the polished pop country tunes dominating the airwaves, George leaned into the raw, storytelling roots of country music. Drawing on the Western swing influences of Bob Wills and the honest, heartfelt lyrics of Hank Williams, George crafted a style that resonated deeply with fans longing for a return to the genre's roots. With the success of Unwound, MCA Records offered George a full album deal, and he wasted no time seizing the opportunity. His debut album, Strait Country, was a refreshing departure from the trends of the time. It showcased the simplicity and authenticity that would come to define his career. Critics and fans alike embraced the album, signaling that George Strait was here to stay. Through it all, George remained grounded. He continued performing with the Ace in the Hole band, the same group that had been with him during the tough times. Together, they toured relentlessly, building a loyal fan base and proving that traditional country music was far from a relic of the past. The journey to his first hit wasn't easy, but the struggles only made George more determined. Every rejection, every long night on the road, and every moment of doubt had prepared him for this breakthrough. It was a testament to his resilience, his belief in the music he loved, and the quiet determination of a man who refused to give up on his dream. George Strait's struggles to break through were more than just a chapter in his story. They were the foundation for the incredible success that followed. Against all odds, he stayed true to his roots, proving that sometimes the hardest paths lead to the greatest rewards. With the success of Unwound, George Strait's rise to stardom gained unstoppable momentum. His debut album, Strait Country, introduced fans to a fresh yet traditional sound that stood out in the evolving landscape of country music. The album's authenticity resonated with listeners, and George followed it with Straight from the Heart in 1982, which delivered his first #1 hit, Fool-Hearted Memory. It was a milestone that solidified his place in country music and hinted at the remarkable career ahead. As the 1980s progressed, George became a dominant force in the genre. His streak of success was unprecedented, with a series of albums that not only topped the charts, but redefined country music for a new generation. From Right or Wrong to Does Fort Worth Ever Cross Your Mind, George's music captured the spirit of honky-tonk life while delivering heartfelt ballads and toe-tapping Western swing. His string of #1 hits set records, with songs like The Chair and Oceanfront Property becoming iconic anthems of the decade. The accolades soon followed. George's smooth vocals and timeless style earned him widespread recognition, including the prestigious CMA Male Vocalist of the Year awards in both 1985 and 1986. Critics praised his ability to balance tradition with contemporary appeal, and fans couldn't get enough of his music. By the late 1980s, he was recognized as one of the genre's brightest stars, winning the CMA Entertainer of the Year award in 1989 and again in 1990. These honors marked George as not just a performer, but a defining figure in the world of country music. A key moment in George's career came when he began performing at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo in 1983. Originally stepping in for Eddie Rabbitt, who was unable to perform, George's show captivated the audience and established a long-running tradition. Over the years, he became a staple of the event, performing to record-breaking crowds and reinforcing his connection to the Texas spirit. His shows at the Houston Rodeo became legendary, drawing over 1 million fans throughout his career and leaving an indelible mark on the event. Beyond the numbers and accolades, George Strait's music connected with people on a deeply personal level. His songs told stories of love, heartbreak, and the simple joys of life, resonating with fans across generations. Whether it was the tender lyrics of The Chair or the reflective tone of Oceanfront Property, George had a way of turning every song into a moment that felt both universal and uniquely his own. By the end of the 1980s, George had achieved what many artists could only dream of. His albums consistently went platinum, his tours were sellouts, and his influence on the genre was undeniable. He had successfully bridged the gap between the traditional roots of country music and the evolving tastes of modern audiences, all while staying true to his authentic style. George Strait's rise to stardom wasn't just about breaking records, it was about creating a legacy. With his signature cowboy hat, smooth baritone, and a catalog of unforgettable hits, he had become the face of country music. His journey from a small-town Texan to an international superstar was a testament to his talent, hard work, and unwavering commitment to his craft. The King of Country was just getting started, and his impact on the genre would continue to grow in the years to come. In 1986, George Strait faced a heartbreak that would change his life forever. His 13-year-old daughter, Jennifer, was tragically killed in a car accident. Jennifer had been a passenger in a vehicle that flipped due to excessive speed. She was not wearing a seatbelt and was partially ejected from the car, passing away instantly. For George and his family, the pain was unimaginable. This tragedy had a profound effect on George. Already a private individual, he became even more withdrawn from the public eye, choosing to shield his family and personal life from the spotlight. Interviews and media appearances became rare, and he focused all his energy on his music and those closest to him. He later admitted that the loss of Jennifer made him reevaluate his priorities, strengthening his commitment to his family while using music as a way to process his grief. Through this painful chapter, George continued to create. His music became a source of solace, not only for himself but for his fans, who found strength and comfort in his songs. Just months after losing Jennifer, he released hits like Nobody in His Right Mind Would Have Left Her, which marked the start of an incredible streak of 11 consecutive #1 singles. Despite the pain he carried, George channeled his emotions into his work, producing albums and performances that resonated deeply with his audience. In the years that followed, George's music reflected the resilience of a man who had endured immense personal tragedy, yet found a way to move forward. Tracks like I Cross My Heart embodied themes of love, loyalty, and perseverance, values that had been at the core of his life and career. His ability to turn personal pain into universal stories of hope and endurance became one of his defining traits as an artist. George's response to the loss of Jennifer was a testament to his strength and character. Rather than letting grief consume him, he found ways to honor her memory through his dedication to family and music. He and his wife, Norma, grew even closer, leaning on each other to navigate the sorrow and maintain a sense of normalcy for their son, Bubba. Although George has rarely spoken about Jennifer's death in interviews, His actions have spoken volumes. Over the years, he has quietly supported causes related to child safety and made sure that Jennifer's memory remains a private yet powerful part of his life. His decision to limit public discussion of the tragedy reflects his desire to keep his family's pain intimate, even as the world celebrated his success. The loss of Jennifer marked one of the darkest periods in George Strait's life, but it also highlighted his resilience and his ability to rise above adversity. In the face of unimaginable grief, he continued to be a devoted husband, father, and artist. For his fans, George's journey through this personal tragedy became a poignant reminder of the strength that lies in perseverance and the healing power of music. Through his unwavering focus on family and his passion for his craft, George Strait proved that even in the face of profound loss, life's most meaningful connections and pursuits can help pave the way to healing. One of the most cherished aspects of George Strait's life is his bond with his son, George Harvey Strait Jr., affectionately known as Bubba. Their connection goes far beyond the typical father-son relationship. Rooted in a shared love for ranching and rodeo, their bond has been a cornerstone of George's life outside of music. Growing up on the family ranch in South Texas, Bubba inherited his father's passion for the cowboy way of life. From an early age, he was drawn to roping and ranch work, following in George's footsteps. As a teenager, Bubba excelled in high school rodeos and later competed on the Texas A&M University rodeo team. His dedication and talent in team roping earned him recognition within the rodeo community. For George, watching Bubba succeed in the sport they both loved brought immense pride. The two often competed together in team roping events, including the prestigious George Strait Team Roping Classic, a competition George founded. Winning alongside his son became one of George's proudest moments. He once shared, "There's no better feeling than seeing Bubba out there, doing what he loves, and being able to share those victories with him." But their connection wasn't limited to the rodeo arena. Bubba also became a key figure in George's music career. As Bubba grew older, he began exploring songwriting, collaborating with his father on several tracks. His talent for crafting lyrics and melodies reignited George's passion for writing music, a part of his artistry he had set aside for many years. Their first major collaboration came with the song "Living for the Night" from George's 2009 album Twang. Bubba co-wrote the track, and it quickly became a fan favorite. The father-son duo continued to work together on subsequent albums, creating songs like "Here for a Good Time," "Out of Sight," "Out of Mind," and many others. George often credited Bubba for bringing a fresh perspective to his music, while keeping it grounded in the authenticity that fans had come to love. Beyond the creative process, their bond has been evident on stage. During George's final tour, The Cowboy Rides Away, Bubba joined him for a memorable performance of "Arkansas Dave," a song Bubba had written. The moment was a highlight of the tour, capturing the deep connection between father and son and the joy they shared in performing together. For George, Bubba's presence in both his personal and professional life has been a blessing. Whether they're riding horses on the ranch, competing in a roping event, or writing songs in the studio, their shared experiences have strengthened their bond over the years. Bubba's journey as a songwriter and roper reflects the values his father instilled in him: dedication, humility, and a love for the simple, meaningful moments in life. George Strait's relationship with Bubba is a testament to the importance of family and the ways in which shared passions can bring people closer together. Through their partnership, George not only found new inspiration for his music, but also created lasting memories that go far beyond the spotlight. Their story is a reminder that, at its core, life is about the connections we make and the legacy we leave behind. George Strait's legacy is one of unparalleled achievement and enduring authenticity. With 60 #1 hits to his name, he has not only set a record in country music, but across all genres, solidifying his status as one of the greatest recording artists of all time. His career has been marked by a series of groundbreaking milestones, from chart-topping albums to the highest-grossing tours in country music history. In 2014, during his farewell Cowboy Rides Away tour, George drew record-breaking crowds, including over 100,000 fans at his final performance in Arlington, Texas. It was a night that symbolized his impact on country music and his unshakable connection with his audience. Fans from all over the world came to celebrate the man who had become a symbol of traditional country music and a bridge between generations. But George Strait's legacy goes beyond the numbers. At his core, he has always been a cowboy, not just in image, but in spirit. Away from the spotlight, he spends his time on his South Texas ranch, riding horses, raising cattle, and roping. His commitment to the ranching lifestyle isn't for show, it's who he is. For George, the values of hard work, humility, and connection to the land have always been as important as his music. His love for the cowboy way of life has been passed down to the next generation. George's grandchildren, George Harvey Strait III and Jillian Louise Strait, are already learning the values he holds dear. Harvey has even joined his grandfather on stage, performing God and country music at the Houston Rodeo, showing that the Strait family's connection to music is as strong as ever. George's influence on new generations is a testament to the timelessness of his music and character. Whether it's his grandson's interest in music, hunting, or baseball, or his granddaughter's budding interest in singing, George supports them wholeheartedly. He has expressed his pride in their potential and his belief in letting them choose their paths, a reflection of the same grounded approach that has defined his life. Through his music, George has captured universal emotions, love, heartbreak, and the simple joys of life. Songs like Troubadour remind listeners of the journey of aging, growth, and staying true to oneself. These themes resonate across generations, ensuring that George's music remains relevant and cherished, even as the industry evolves. His legacy is further cemented by his commitment to authenticity. In a world of changing trends, George Strait has remained steadfast, refusing to compromise his sound or values. He has shown that staying true to one's roots can lead to success that lasts far beyond fleeting fame. As the king of country music, George Strait has left an indelible mark not only on the genre, but on the hearts of millions. His career is a shining example of what can be achieved with talent, perseverance, and an unwavering sense of identity. More than just a musician, George Strait is a symbol of resilience, tradition, and the enduring power of genuine connection. From his first hit to his record-breaking farewell tour, George Strait's story is one of a man who never wavered in his pursuit of excellence. His music continues to inspire, his values continue to guide, and his legacy will undoubtedly endure for generations to come. Through every challenge, George has remained grounded, guided by the values of family, faith, and hard work. His love for the cowboy lifestyle and his commitment to authenticity have made him more than just a musician. They've made him a symbol of resilience and tradition. As the final notes of "The Cowboy Rides Away" echo through arenas filled with fans, the connection George shares with his audience becomes unmistakable. It's a bond built on honesty, timeless music, and a life lived with purpose. His legacy is more than his achievements. It's the way his music continues to inspire, and his story continues to resonate. George Strait's name will forever be etched in the history of country music, not just for what he accomplished, but for how he did it, with grace, humility, and an unwavering dedication to his craft and his values.